Hey everybody, I'm back right now. This is my film vlog number 4, and right now I am trying to relax because I've been going through a very busy 8 weeks. It was the busiest term I ever faced. I just finished LMW2. It was a very tough class. You're in groups and you're doing this film in about a short amount of time for 8 weeks causes a lot of stress, and it causes so much craziness on your shoulders because you have classes. And this is where I have to get motivation and really start doing stuff, because in a real production, in whatever company you're in, you have to do a lot of things quicker at a short amount of time. And this is where I have to do on my part for films and for any homework I have for general education. But anyway, from where we begin, I'll talk about my craziness term from to as like the last term of LMW2. So LMW2 is basically you're forming into 4 people. So it's me, Brett, Keith, and Lexi. And we were all doing our part for the introduction of a lecture. We have to form a group and we have to mark our names on the board to be in a selective team that you want to work with on one movie. So what I've done is I chose Keith's piece because I I have a fresh and familiar start with expressions. So I'm pretty good with what I've been entitled to. Like, I've been doing student alliance and I've been doing a lot of schoolwork and everything. And I've learned about what's going on with the system. And because Expression College is an accredited college for an 8 week term, you really need to work hard to get a job. And this is why I think it was an interesting piece for me to work with. And, working through the story, it's called Why We're Here, is about the students coming to a 4 year bachelor's degree school. And it's all about determine who you really are as a student. Like, you really want to work hard and you really want to keep your motivation into the program of filming. And this is one of the reasons why I've been going to MSV and LMW, is to really learn how to film stuff before I dive into animation. And this is why it helped me so much that when I have the level to do this, I'm committed to it. I graduated in the 2 year program in animation at KCC. I wanted to go more hardcore to get into expression so that I can face challenges to get into a career in Pixar. All 4 of us, for Brett, myself, Keith, and Lexi, we all form together and we do each one of us of our introduction of why we're here. And this is more like a practice route. We're all about learning things that are challenging right now. And and we also have a Vimeo page, so we recommend that you go to this link on Why We're Here preview. This is where decision making with students, if they want to attend to Expression College or not go to Expression College, they have to decide it. and see what kind of majors that they want to try out, like getting into animation, getting into games, getting to filming, getting to sound. And this is where students are really going through orientation to take a look at things and see what they want to do in their life. Just going over the preview to all the students in LMW, like there's a really good chance to see more on the film. So after this, we started filming. We started to do some films in, let's say we did Marlo's piece of about what he has done in sound arts. And he's an alumni, student alumni for Expression College. And so the location was at a park, and we pretty much did the camera setups. I did the audio, and basically I did some BTS for the pictures, and the pictures are so good. Like for me, from my photography experience, I pretty much know composition. I actually learned about it from animation and intro to photography. Like if you want to get that shadow depth of field, if you want to get that composition, that's why I've learned it from as a self-taught artist, that taking pictures in a depth of field shot, it gives it more of an interesting appeal. And that's why I was one of the best photographers there. But I would say I think pretty much Brett and Keith are really good at photography too. They're in film, so, or not Brett, but Keith mostly is in film. And we both work together, and we're so strong on our piece. So pretty much we got through with Marlo, and after Marlo, we had some pretty mistakenly issues with the train.
Mission statement down. Like, obviously, expression wants to continue to do that, but it's ideal. Cool. I got an answer. Another freight train. Look quick. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Good.
So every time the train comes in, we have to pause. We have to stop so the train comes out. And after the train comes out, Marlo gets to speak his part. And the audio from my H5 stopped earlier, and I shouldn't have been out there to check my audio, and that wouldn't have been my responsibility to do it. So that only happens on the first try, but we got everything in the ballpark, so we're good. And pretty much after Marlo, oh my goodness, this isn't insane, don't be jealous, but we went to so Keith emailed a professional director in Athena Studios named Vince DeQuattro. And Keith was surprising me and Brett to go to this place in the studio. Brett was on his truck. We went to his truck, and we went to Athena Studios. And what's inside Athena is the green screen. Oh my goodness. And the soundproof pads that I have in the back as well. C-stands and lights. It's like awesome. It's like, man, you're just like there doing the professional work for a company, and in the studio environment. So I really enjoyed like coming in to Athena Studios and start filming this piece. And we saw like studio chairs, and Vince got to sit on it, and we started interviewing with him.
And then I'll speak normally like this, check, check, I'll be talking about you guys and the fact that you're fucking awesome coming out here, doing some stuff. Found Athena Studios somehow. Maybe it was like like you're doing a search and like Athena came up. So you're like, all right, let's check those guys out. Pretty cool.
And oh my goodness, he was saying,
Love that you guys are here because it shows me that you guys have that same passion for what you guys want to do someday. I'm looking at all these awesome faces and you guys are smiling. You were so psyched in the emails. I was like, yeah, sure, dude, come on over. And you're like, oh, that's so awesome. You sent me like 50 paragraphs. I sent you like one line. It was awesome.
it was really nice of him for telling us that he's going to talk about his experience in his filmmaking departure. I was impressed. And he was talking about animations as well. He was talking about modeling and rigging, and I was really impressed. Like, if I would manage to go to those companies, I am willing to do this. And so forth. He was talking about movies that he has done a while back.
So The Abyss, Terminator 2.
It was really intense, but really great. I really like those movies. And he also did
For me, it was Jurassic Park.
one of my favorite movies when I was young. And, I really enjoyed coming to one of the parks at Kola Park. That was the part where Vince was working on. It's called Kahlua Ranch. And he basically, I think he did Mighty Joe Young, and I was born to that movie. Like, Mighty Joe Young was like my favorite Disney movie. And, I toured to one of those environmental places, Jurassic Park, Mighty Joe Young, and oh man, so many more, 50 First Dates. And, this is where he pretty much did his production work. I was really impressed. And after it was an hour and 30-minute interview with Vince. I was super surprised that none of these people can talk for an hour and 30 minutes. And said Vince, he can. So that's awesome. And after that, he was very nice of us to go take a tour to his studio where we see plaques of Darth Vader and Indiana Jones. That was amazing. We see the sound room.
So you guys know what ADR is, right?
Yep.
Automatic dialogue removal. And so...
Replacement?
Replacement. Thank you.
Well, we went upstairs and we got to see one of the plaques of the Terminators. We saw one of the books, novels of Star Wars. It's like awesome, really cool. And then we went inside to his computer lab. He went over his projects on a studio website.
Organizing a production folder. So, and I think it's one of those things as a compositor or even as a film director, you have to understand how to organize your data so that it's easy for other artists to be added on projects. If you're the only person working on a show, it's easy to sort of internalize your process, make your scripts look however they want. But as a compositor, the idea is to make it universal so that if you invite someone to come in and work on a project with you, it's very easy for them to sort of pick up the ball and kind of run with it.
And, you communicate with these people online. You're professional people who want to work for a director. And, on a website, oh my gosh, it's really nice. And when we get to see some After Effects, all the work that he's done, oh my gosh, he did like 20 layers of his stop motion animation. I was really impressed. And the way he did it is that when I see it is he matte painted the sky blue as like a nighttime scene, and he did a moon, he did a lighthouse, and he did like an ocean. It was all three layers of waves. How cool is that? Like, this is something that I would love to try. And he also did like a ledge, and he added a cabin, which I thought it was painted, but it wasn't. It was real. It was a real shot of a cabin. And what you see in the cabin is a boy inside looking at the man in the ledge. And we see a reflectivity of the window. I don't know how he gets this stuff. Like, I really want to dive into this stuff. It's like, man, if I would go to an advanced studio to just work on After Effects for advanced improvements, yeah, I'm down for that stuff. And, all these layers that he's done, this is a challenge that I want to try out. And, oh man, just like after the whole 3 hours of Vince, oh man, we were like beyond relieved. No stress. We are so relieved. And, it's like you're in heaven. You're in the heaven studio just watching, oh man, some real life stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing experience, like how Keith did it. Like, wow. Keith, maybe I should treat you for food or something. Like, hey, let's go in and out together, huh? So, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I'll never forget this moment where I was in the studio for the first time in California. Thank you for watching.